You know, we on 4th and Goal would like to start this week by saying, who the heck needs soda, right? It's bad for you. It's just kind of gross looking. If you spill it, it's sticky and it just messes up your whole day. You know what will not mess up your whole day? Pop-Tarts. Part of any balanced breakfast because it is enough to be a balanced breakfast. We don't need soda. You don't need soda. What you need is a Pop-Tart, especially like this cinnamon roll one, which is amazing. All right. There's also football. So, we had a lot of funny stuff happen this weekend. Georgia Tech effectively destroyed Clemson's ability to ever be relevant again under Dabo Swinney. We saw Florida throw 5 picks in one game against LSU, and LSU still struggled to beat them, which is obviously what top 3 teams in the AP poll do. And then Tennessee, Max Gilbert probably is not going to be welcome on campus for a good while, if I know Tennessee fans well. You cannot spell volunteer without L for this week, at least. But by far, the funniest thing we saw this past weekend got to be Tyler Buckner mishandling the snap for Notre Dame's PAT. I mean, it hit him right in the hands, still popped right out of them, even though he's been doing this for a good long while now. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, Notre Dame's tight end had the wherewithal to run into the end zone to try to catch an open pass, get them 2 points, maybe make something good out of something bad. Buckner just flips it way too far out of reach, like a mile out of reach. You saw it for yourselves. All I can say to that at this point is this. Still very, very good. Now to start this upcoming Saturday, we've got a big-time game in the Big 12. Texas Tech is going to Utah. After Cam Rising's injury really just derailed Utah's season last year, looks like they are back to tip-top shape under Kyle Whittingham. Absolutely skull-drug UCLA before we knew for sure that UCLA was just going to be terrible, and they've been beating opponents left and right ever since. Texas Tech, on the other hand, they looked at Texas A&M and Texas just like spending these crazy, psychotic amounts of money on recruit and transfer additions. They're like, we're from Texas. We could do that too, right? And so that's exactly what they did. Signed the best transfer class in the country this past year. They have built that roster to compete for a Big 12 championship. Make no mistake about that. They want to win the Big 12. They want to be in the playoff and join all those other Texas teams except for UTSA and Houston. It is very funny how one really, really down year just made everyone forget that Utah football was a thing. Usually a perennial 9-10 win team, even in the Pac-12. They're a good football team. That's a good program. They reloaded the roster. Their new quarterback, Devin Dampier, doing some just atrocious, horrific things to opposing defenses. They've got the team. They've got a coach with a physical mindset. That is the DNA of a program that is built to win in the Big 12. And with Texas Tech, we know it's a lot of flash. It's a hot commodity right now. We think there's some validity behind it. The model has it in the top 15. I mean, you take a look at it right there. Texas Tech. Who would have thunk it? Not me. Not this time last year. I surely wouldn't have thought that. I think this could be the biggest game in the Big 12 for the entire season. I really do. I think these are the 2 best overall teams. I think those are the 2 best overall programs in terms of development and how they're obtaining talent. I think this is going to be a really good game. The model thinks so too. Slightly leaning Texas Tech with a very close win. I think it's going to go the other way. I think home... This almost hit my leg. I think the home crowd advantage is going to be a very big X factor thing. I think Utah fans are really, really hungry to have a good football team again, and I think that's going to carry them to a win. Back in the SEC, big game. Auburn is ranked for the first time in 5 years, and they are headed to Oklahoma to try to take on the resurgent Sooners. Auburn heads in with probably the worst color scheme in all of college football. I mean, that's a disgusting orange layered on top of blue. It doesn't work. It looks terrible. That whole program is just terrible. Oklahoma they are coming off that big win against Michigan. They are looking to make it 2 big wins in a row. If they could beat Auburn here, there is no reason why they don't have an inside track to the playoff for the rest of the season. Except for their gauntlet of a schedule. One of the big things that people are going to be focusing on in this game is that it's Jackson Arnold's return to Oklahoma. It's his return to the team he started out with. I think what's more important is Auburn's run game versus Oklahoma's run defense. Because every time Oklahoma has played a team so far this season, that team has gone there saying like, hey, can we run the ball? No. No, you can't. Outside of one random long Justice Haynes run, no, you can't run the ball in Oklahoma. Can Auburn do it? I don't know. They have played good competition in Baylor and then not so great competition in South Alabama. Also struggled in that game. Just want to remind you. Oklahoma had the game against Michigan. They did not have a letdown spot against Temple the next week. I think that Oklahoma has the better mindset, obviously, because, Auburn's Auburn, and the model agrees with me. The model is picking the home team by 2 scores, due in large part to what I mentioned before. Auburn's they're going to struggle to put points up on the board at all, and Oklahoma, they're going to find just enough, I think, and the model thinks, to win this game and win it comfortably. So look for the Sooners to make another statement this Saturday. Then for the last game, I'm going to go over the big-time Big Ten matchup. You got Illinois going to Indiana. Props to Illinois, by the way, on the uniform colors, orange and blue. That's a really good look. They do a really good job with it. But anyway, Indiana and Illinois. Have you watched these teams this year? No, unless you're an Indiana or Illinois fan. Have I watched these teams this year? No, I haven't. There's been other games on to watch. These are 2 teams who are highly ranked in the AP poll, but they also don't have the requisite talent profile to seriously make a deep playoff run. But this is still an interesting game, because if the winner of this game can manage the rest of their schedule, might have an inside track to the Big Ten championship game. The very interesting thing about this game is what the model is showing us. The model is picking Indiana to win comfortably at home, but if we dig a little bit deeper into the numbers, this may be a closer game than even the model itself thinks. Stats and Info, can you break that down for us?
Alright, so I'll make this pretty brief so I don't try to talk too much. I don't want to be talking the audience's ears off once again. So one of the more pivotal metrics in this game is how much these 2 teams' run points are going to actually decline. Now, I've explained this before, but if you look at, we'll throw up again the score prediction from the model. So that first row of numbers, run points, that's the offensive production in terms of points that a team averages throughout the season, or up to this point in the season, based on their run offense. Pass points, similar offense, but it's based off of the passing offense. Under that, you have game run points, which is how much scoring production we're going to expect these teams to have based off of their running offense in this particular game. So, if you look at it, it is even for both of these teams. Now, that in and of itself is not very statistically significant, but what I think is significant is that Illinois, they are losing a decent bit of production, about 7 points. Indiana, on the other hand, is losing nearly 16 points of production from the run. That means that their offense is much more likely to get bogged down very quickly. It's saying that Illinois' run defense is really going to hold Indiana in check a lot more than they're used to. And if Indiana is more used to running the ball, at will than they are in this game, that can spell some potential trouble in the passing game. If you don't have that run game going, then those defenders, they can pin their ear back and they can come after the quarterback all they want because they know you're not going to run the ball. So could be a closer game than maybe even the model is wanting to suggest right now, but we'll just have to see this Saturday.
So that's all the college football I've got for today. Remember, Pop-Tarts are where it's at. Soda's bad for you. Soda hurts you. Pop-Tarts have never hurt anybody. Pop-Tarts have never done anything but bring joy to you and to college football. They are crazy good. They hopefully will be the sponsor of this show one day, and I'm sure if you grab yourself a Pop-Tart, you will not be disappointed. So that's all for 4th and Goal. See you next weekend.